Hello musicians, this is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we're helping musicians improve. Thank you so much for checking out this video today. Now today's video is my answer to the question, what do you do with your left hand? Like, what do you play? I have so many of my students ask me, what should I be playing in my left hand? Well, I've put together 12 different options for your left hand, and I've actually broken it up into 2 videos, so I'm going to do 6 today and 6 next week will be released. And so today you can expect to hear stuff like bass lines like this, or even guide tones like this, or even stride piano like this. So you can see a wide range of ideas for your left hand. So before we get started, please note I put timestamps in the description box below. So if you're on a desktop computer and you click on those, they'll take you right ahead to different points in the video that you might be interested in. If you're on a mobile device, you can just use those as reference points to go ahead and move ahead, fast forward in the video. I also put links to a link to the sheet music and MIDI files for this video, so you can definitely get that there in the description box. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. All right, so the first option we have for the left hand is for the left hand to actually just play the bass, like as if it's the bass guitar or upright bass or acoustic bass. And so, and the right hand plays the melody and harmony. So let me demonstrate it for you and then we'll talk about it right after. Now, before I start, let me say this. We're going to use the song, The Battle Hymn of the Republic, a la in the style of Monty Alexander and jazz greats. Now, Monty Alexander is a jazz great out of Jamaica, I believe. So I'll put some links in the description box to him, so you should definitely check him out. But we're going to do it in that style, not the hymnal style. And we're going to do it in the key of C. So let me demonstrate, and then we'll talk about it. So let's explain what was happening in the left hand. I utilized 3 different techniques. The first is just playing the chord tones. The second was doing chromatic passing tones. And the third was doing extended passing, or what we call walk-ups or walk-downs. So let me explain those. All right, so the first one is just using the chord tones. The first chord of the song is a C6 chord, So when I say C6, I mean C major. And then we add the 6th. Now how do I know it's 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So C6. You see it? Now that's all I'm doing in my left hand. All right. Now, for this next bar, we go to C7, which is, right? So I'm going to play the root, and I want to go to the 7 to kind of get that sound. And so I'm going to approach it chromatically. So, you see? And then the next chord, we're going to our F6 chord. And so I'm going to approach the F chromatically from F sharp. So this sound. All right, do you see it? You see it? And then from there, F6 chord. So F6, so it would be F major with the 6th. So I'm going to play that. And then here, we're going to do a turnaround to get back to 1, or to get back to C. So we're going to do a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 turnaround to get back to 1. It's just, so when I say turnaround, it's just a vehicle to get us back to 1. All right. And so in this case, 3, 1, 2, 3 is E, 6 is A, 2 is D, 5 is G. So we're going to do E minor, A7, D minor, G7 to 1. C major. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to do a chromatic pass to get to each one of these. You see that? E, chromatic, G sharp to A, E flat D, F sharp G, D flat C. Do you see? I could have gone, right? So either one of those work. And then we're back at our one. Now right here, I inserted this F sharp 7 chord. So those are the notes: F sharp 7, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E, right? So I just played chord tones. I only had time to play 2 because I was going to my B minor 11 or B9 sus4, right? And so from here, I'm going to B, E, A, so B minor sus4 to, or B minor 11 to E7 to A minor. So I did the chromatic pass again, right? And then the next chord is D minor. So instead of doing it just chromatic pass into D, I did 3 chromatic passes, or what we call a walk-up. And actually what I did was, I think I changed octaves right there. So, but it's still the same idea, just an octave displacement, meaning changing octaves. And then from D, I did the same thing up to G. I did octave Gs, and then 1. So I did this. So I wanted to go 1, 6, but I did a chromatic pass coming from above. So 6, and then walk down 3, 4, back to 1. Okay. So let me go slow and see if you can actually see this happening. So watch. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. I kicked it off by using this kind of G5 to get it started. Like, get ready, here we go. And I graced on F, G, so, right? So let's try it again. Okay, so that was using the left hand as a bass line. Number 2. So this second option is an option that a lot of guitarists, when they come to piano, or instrumentalists that don't play piano, when they first come to piano, this is how they often play. It's often used in CCM music, which is contemporary Christian music, also even in country. And that style is using octaves in the left hand, octave roots in the left hand. So let me demonstrate it for you, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. All right, so that was pretty quick through it. But did you see the octave roots? Now let me stop right here and do a quick primer. Okay. Don't make the mistake I did. I used to judge sounds and options as either good or bad. And so if I said it was bad, then I didn't want to do it. And what I did was I limited myself the options I had available to me to play and convey certain ideas. All right, so just like in the kitchen when you're cooking and you're pulling out spices, we don't judge the spices as good or bad spice. We just judge if it's appropriate for this particular dish. So let's utilize these options as either appropriate or not for the particular sound we're trying to convey. So this particular sound is weighted. It's simplistic, and it works really well if you're playing something really simple, but it also gives real stability to the sound. So if you want to play something stable, hit those double roots in the bass. It gives a sense of gravity and solidity. Not much color. Color is only supplied by the right hand, but definitely stableness. So that's definitely an option for you when you're playing. Number 3. So this is very similar to the octave roots. It's actually playing in fifths. So what I mean by that is playing the root, and then playing the fifth along with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the root and the fifth together. So let me play the Battle Hymn of the Republic again for you, utilizing this concept, and let's see how it sounds. All right, so this one as well gives a little bit of solidity to the bass, to the structure. It's simple as well, but it has a different sound. It has this kind of drone-like sound, almost like Gregorian monk kind of. So in Celtic music, I would definitely, if I'm playing a Celtic folk hymn, I would definitely pull this out and utilize this concept. So get the sound in your ear and keep it as an option for your playing. Number 4, shell voicings. Now we're starting to add color in the left hand. All right, so let me just play the song Battle Hymn of the Republic again for you, utilizing shell voicings, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. All right, so let's do a quick primer on what shell voicings are. All right, so let's examine 5 or 6 chords in C. Let's take C major 7. Let's take C7 or C dominant 7. Let's take C6. Let's take C minor 6. Let's take C minor 7. Let's take C minor major 7. All right, what did you notice there? What did all those chords have in common? All right, you got it. That the C and G didn't change for any of those chords. So what we can kind of deduce from that is that the C and G aren't necessarily important as far as determining the chord color or chord quality, but rather the 3rd, the 6th, and 7 are important in determining the color or quality of the chord. So what we aim to do in shell voicings is we play the root along with one of these color tones, the 3rd, 6th, or 7th. So for our first chord, C6, I can either play C and E as a 3rd, and you might often see me play it as a 10th. Same notes, just kind of octave displaced. Or C6 for the first chord. So I chose to play it as, and I added the D in my right hand to make it a 6/9. All right, but so I'm playing the C and E root and 3rd. Now here we have C7 approaching, so I could stick on the C and E still, because those are, but I'm gonna go to the 7. So root and 3rd still. Now we're doing our 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, so E minor, root and 3rd, root and 7 for the A7, So our D minor 11 is root in third, and then G7 is the root in seventh, then back to our 1. Now I added a passing chord, it's F sharp 7, so I'm going to play root in 7. Now our B minor 11, or B9 sus4, I'm going to play root in 7. Now for our E7, I'm going to play root in third, and then for our A minor, I'm going to play root in 7, and then for A 7 sharp 9 sharp 5, I'm going to play the same notes. And then for our D minor chord, I'm going to play root in 7. And for our G7 chord, I'm going to play root in 7. And then back to 1, so I'm going to play root in third. Do you see? So shell voicings we still have the root, so we still have the solid bass, but now we're adding color to our chords, so it's giving us a different palette to play with. So definitely get those under your belt because they really can enhance your playing. Number 5, guide tones. Now this is where kind of the rubber meets the road. So now we're leaving the root away. So now we're moving to what we call rootless voicings. So we're not playing the root anymore. So what are we playing? Well, in our left hand, we're going to play those color tones. We're going to play 2 of them though. We're going to play the 3rd and the 7th, or the 3rd and the 6th, depending on the chord. Okay, so let's play this song again. Battle Hymn of the Republic in the key of C, but this time I'm going to use guide tones in my left hand. Okay. All right, so wow, we've kind of left the stability and kind of the comfort, like the crutch of the root, and now we're kind of out there with these sounds a little bit more. So let's kind of examine what we were playing. So the first chord is a C6 chord, so I played the 3rd and the 6th in my left hand. So right, now we have C7, so I'm gonna go from 3rd and 6th to 3rd and flat 7. And now for next chord, I'm gonna play it as the F major 7. Now that sounds weird because you want to hear this F on the bottom, this, but you hear E on the bottom. So it sounds kind of weird, but trust me, with the bass player playing, or even not, it works. Right, now we have E minor. So we're going to play E minor 7, so we're going to play the 3rd and 7th. So 3rd right there is G and D. And we'll play A7, which is C sharp and G in the left hand. Then the 3rd of D minor and the 7th. So, and then for our G7 chord, I'm actually playing it as G7 flat 9 and then flat 5. Right. And then back to our C. For our F sharp 7, see 3rd and 7th. So our B minor 9 with the minor 11. I have the 3rd and the 7th here. Then our E dominant with the flat 9 and 13. So E flat 9. I have 13. I have the 3rd and the 7th here. And for our A minor, I have the 3rd and the 7th. Now, A7 sharp 9 sharp 5. I'm going to put the 3rd and 7th. See? And then we went to D minor. So we have the 3rd and the 7th. And now what is this? Well, this is just a G13 sus, right? So we have the 7th here, and we would play the third, but the 3rd is being suspended, so we have to play the 4. And then we resolve it. And then back to 1. Got it? So now we've left the home base of taunt of the roots, and now we're kind of out there floating in the air, so you get the. So it's a brave new world now. Okay, so that's number 5, guide tones. Number 6, stride piano. Now I've broken this down into two stride piano sections. As a matter of fact, the second more advanced stride piano, we're going to introduce that in our next video. But for this one, this is what I call simple stride. All right. So what stride piano is? It's you're playing the root. So we go back to playing the root now. Root plus the guide tones. So root, guide tones, or whatever. So actually, root, guide tones, 5th. Sometimes we'll this kind of sound. So sometimes we could play a root, but more often we could play a root, guide, but more often it's root, guide, 5th, guide. It's kind of right. So let's play the song now with this technique, and let's see what happens. All right, so that was what I call simple stride. So let's break it down. So for the first chord, our C6 chord, so root and then guide tones, 5 guide tones, root. This kind of. Now we went to C7, so root, guide tones there. Now F major 7, 5. And we did our 3, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5. See? Now our passing chord, F sharp 7. So our B minor, E 7, A minor, sorry. Then A 7 sharp 9 sharp 5, D, D. Our 13 suspended, then resolved, then sorry. All right, so that's what I call simple stride, and the next one we'll do a little bit more involved stride. Congratulations, you've gone through all 6 of the left-hand options. So it wasn't too bad, was it? Well, I hope not. Hopefully you found one thing that you can take away from it. Now remember, this is part 1 of 2. So in about a week, we'll release the second half of this video where we have even more advanced concepts. So definitely stay tuned. So hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you can be notified when we release that new video. One thing I really want you to know is that you don't have to master all of these. Just find one, master it, and your playing will improve dramatically. So I'd rather you pick one and master it than pick all 12 and halfway do them. So definitely get it down on your fingers. Pick 1 or 2 and get them down. So before we go, remember I put a link to the sheet music and MIDI files in the description box below. So definitely check those out. They're a great resource. If you read music, it's great to see the music in front of you and able to work through it slowly. And I also have the MIDI files, so you can put the MIDI files in your DAW, which is a digital audio workstation of choice, or even your MIDI player of choice, and you can see the notes, and you can change keys and change the tempo on them, so you can kind of work through them. Also, we have other videos on our channel that I think can really help you, so definitely check those out. So again, my name is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we're helping musicians improve. Thank you so much for watching. Happy practicing and be blessed.